This metal's production is relatively low compared to, say, silver, but its usage is in high demand. Welcome to the Paulybuck YouTube channel, everybody. My name is Paul, and I sure am glad to have you with me on this one here today. Today, I'm bringing you another commodities company, and that company's name is Iber American. You can find Iber American over the counter at IberLF. This video is shot on behalf of Iber American, and we are going to dig into a little bit of that company, where they are going here in the near future, and what they are all about. First things first, have you heard of the name Rick Rule? Well, this is what Rick Rule has to say about Iber American and the tin they are looking for.
Tin is the forgotten energy transition material. I mean, the tin price has done well in the last 2 years. I think tin continues to do well, to the extent that there's ever any need to solder anything for electricity. Tin will do well. It's the best substance in the world. Tin production is fairly constrained too.
If you want to talk about 10 cents on a dollar, this is a great example. Tin prices are surging higher. London Metal Exchange tin prices reach 30,000. This boils down to supply disruptions, and they are getting worse. The former head of commodities research at Carlyle Group, the fifth largest private equity firm in the world with 37 billion under management and one of the pioneers of that industry, is now a director at Iber American. His name is David T. Young, and at Carlyle, he managed $4 billion for its investors focused on commodities. So let's not be naive here. He took on a role of director at Iber American for one primary reason. Iber American is in the final stage of acquiring Europe's largest tin mine, the Puda project, and the goal is to put it right back into production. There's no tin ETF, and most production is sourced from African countries that come with jurisdiction risks, or from Asian countries that are notorious for reliability issues. Iber American has said that after the transaction goes through, if no setbacks come their way, the market cap could potentially be approximately 22 million. We've seen tin prices lead all base metals in the first quarter of 2024, and the CEO of Iber American has said he believes they can resume production and become profitable shortly after completing the acquisition. The current owner ceased mining at the Puda project, which is located in Spain, but before that, it was experiencing historic records of production. At the peak of their market cap, they had roughly reached 78 million, compared with 22 million, which is what Iber American is gunning for post acquisition. So in plain language, the Puda tin tantalum mine is slated to change ownership in a matter of a few short weeks, pending a shareholder vote, financing, and a fund of the purchase. And the company that owns it has been valued for 78 million. With its explicit purpose to resume production is valued at around 22 million Iber American. Campbell Beecher, Iber American's CEO, is determined to increase revenues by improving quality and acceleration of production because he has brought engineering experts that were tasked with building a plan to achieve efficiencies. It's on him and his team to deliver on their promises. Tin is indispensable for so many key industries, as Rick Rule just said in an interview. The United States government is running the largest deficits in the history of any nation. No doubt that one of the most pressing needs on any leading government is to secure the viability of its semiconductor supply chain, and the CHIPS Act is a major testament to how dead serious this has turned. Tin is obviously critical to soldering, and the largest mine in Europe is about to change hands. Take a look at the tin tantalum mining company, Iber American. The current owner of the Puda project has run into severe operational issues and is selling it for $6 million to IberAmerican, which is set to become the owner of the largest tin mine in Europe within weeks, all things being equal. It is an estimate that over the past 5 years, development costs for the Puda mine had already totaled an estimate tens of millions of dollars. We just heard mining investor legend Rick Rule calling tin the forgotten energy transition metal. All while tin production is experiencing issues in Peru, Indonesia, and part of Africa, tin is the forgotten energy transition material. Tin is the best substance in the world when referring to electricity. Tin production is fairly constrained. These are all things Rick Rule has said. Here's a recent post by Jeff Wilson. We like tin. Used in EV batteries and semiconductors, tin has gained 31% in 2024, even more than copper has. Over 50% of the world's tin is used in electronic soldering for joining circuit boards. Tin's biggest use is in semiconductors, and the global semiconductor market project is to double by 2028. If you're a tin bull and you're similar to Rick Rule, who has over 40 years of success, starting out with nothing and raising to lead Sprott USA, believe tin is the forgotten energy metal. How do you find a trophy tin asset to invest in? For one, there's no ETF for tin. Secondly, tin is mostly produced in China and Indonesia, not your prime candidates. If you're a NATO member or the United States of America, tin is mostly used in semiconductors. Over 50% of the world's tin is used in electronic soldering for joining circuit boards. The demand for semiconductors is surging, and the global semiconductor market is projected to double in the next 5 years. This is the management team, and circled are the executives who have been involved with the leading billion-dollar companies in their careers and now work on the behalf of shareholders of IberAmerican to close the deal that immediately resumed production of the Puda mine located in Spain. Any commodities and hard assets, investors look first at supply and demand. So there's no way you can overlook the fact that China is both the world's largest producer and the biggest consumer, and that it consumes more than it produces. The strong growth is coming from electric and autonomous vehicles, AI intelligence, 5G, and the internet. The supplies coming from places like Africa, Indonesia, and Peru. So in just a few short weeks, IberAmerican is going to own the largest tin mine in Europe. And this could be potentially a great privilege. I'll leave you with this and just do what you want with it. Okay, folks, as always, all this information is going to be in the description below, plus some extra stuff that wasn't really talked about in this video, but more information for you to click on, do your own research, take a look into the company if this is something that you like to invest some money into here and there other than precious metals. That's what these videos are about, bringing awareness to companies like this, just in case someone might be relatively interested. You can go in the description, get some more information on this great company, IberAmerican, and I will see you all on the next one. Thanks, everybody.